So, party people, we are talking about Encanto today. Please
Yeah.
do talk about Encanto. No, no, no. That song's been stuck in my head since I heard it, which was coming up on like 3, 4 months ago. And
Yeah.
boy, is my brain tired.
Well,
um,
you've got a child of Encanto
I
age,
have a
correct?
child. Yeah, this was the first movie she sat through start to finish. Like I tried
Ah,
to like make her watch, Blade Runner and stuff like that as a baby, but she would lose interest. This is the
right.
first one where she's been like, okay, I'm locked in. I
Yeah.
am on this journey with Mirabelle. And because of that, it's the soundtrack of my life because
Yeah.
one song has replaced the next one. We're now kind of moving into the kind of mid-tier Encanto songs are now
Sure.
on
Yeah.
heavy
Yeah.
repeat.
You've gotten through Surface Pressure and Bruno, and
Yeah,
now it's
that's
like,
done.
yeah, Family Madrigal and some
Family
of the
Magical was
others.
actually number one, and I think
Oh,
that's still my favorite song. But it's the sisters one that's kind of pop punky. Anyways, we don't
yeah.
need to talk about it. We're here to talk about Encanto.
Sure.
This is a film that, despite all this, I do really like.
Yeah.
I like this movie a lot. I'm so glad that I didn't get trapped in the Frozen generation, and this has been the movie that haunts me because I really do like
Mm.
this one. Um, despite suffering from, I think, some sort of ambiguous plotting of like it's kind of a vague like we have to save a miracle and go on this adventure where we're actually not really going to leave the house. Like the plot goals are a little bit vague, but I don't care. It doesn't need. I'm an adult. I don't need like a ton of action or like a big MacGuffin at the center of it all. I thought that this was actually a really good exploration of family dynamics and the hidden pressures that everybody feels like they're under. And I don't know. I dug it. What about you, Lon?
Yeah, I totally agree. I actually feel like this is probably one of my favorite of the sort of Disney animated musicals from after I was already like a grown,
Yeah.
like obviously I was like 10, I think, when Little Mermaid came out in theaters. So that Disney Renaissance era is always going to be the one that's like the most special to me because I was a kid for it when those movies came out. But in the aftermath of that, I think this is one of the ones that's really resonated the most for me that I've seen as an adult. And I think it's specific in a way that a lot of kids movies and kids musicals, they've got themes, but they've got nice general themes, like it
Help each other.
help people, sharing is caring,
Sharing's good.
accept people
Yeah.
who are different from you. Great, good things, but this is a movie that really feels like that there's a real emotional resonance to it. It's dealing with things like generational trauma and performance anxiety and being sort of haunted by expectations that are placed on you and like really specific stuff that I think, yeah, adult viewers are going to respond to.
Totally. And it doesn't hurt that, of course, it's like just kind of a given these days that it's going to look great. Like they have really, really stepped it up. Like, and what stood out to me in this one, like Moana, it was the water, and
Right.
this one, it was the dancing. I feel like the choreography was incredible and lifelike, and
Yeah.
I've never really noticed the dancing in a cartoon before. And be like, wow, that they're really like this could
Yeah.
be on stage and it would look great.
I agree. And it's not the first, like Moana is another one where they collaborated with Lin-Manuel Miranda on the songs. But I think one thing that he really brings to this or that comes out in this feels almost like an adaptation of a stage musical. And I know I've seen people say that too. Like you could completely conceive of how this would work on Broadway. Like
Oh,
it,
if you do like the Harry Potter treatment where like you have some magic tricks going on with the
right.
house and the
And
stage direction.
and I mean, it
Yeah.
is already kind of like one house and this big cast that they're all in the family and they've all got their little, their own magic gifts. And it does have that feeling. It feels like a Broadway musical almost brought to life through animation.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that very strongly. And there's like these ensemble big dance numbers, and the house is almost a dancer along with the company. And yeah, it does have that vibe as opposed to a lot of other Disney musicals where it's like a lot more solo songs or, it's stuff like Elsa creating a frozen castle while she sings Let It Go by herself. And
Yep.
this one has more of that. Yeah, like it's like seeing a big musical number with a lot of, right, worked out sort of choreography and dance numbers.
Yeah. So, we dug it. Not the real, that's the headline news to take away. And also, I think on this one, what was very exciting is we got to do music again.
Yeah, always
We've had
fun.
to we were worried about music in the future because our incredibly talented songwriter composer, who's back with us as far back as the Michael Bolton stuff, Matt Citrone,
Wow.
has made the extremely unwise decision to go to law school.
Ugh.
The money's in music. It's
really.
in parody music.
Law, no, the YouTube parody videos. That's where the culture is going.
Yeah, that's where the cold hard cash is at.
Yeah, really.
So,
Law.
through Max Dion, I don't know exactly how they got hooked up, but we found this guy Blue, not Blue Man Group, just simply Blue, BLEU, is a legit arranger, songwriter. I think he teaches music and composition and stuff like that, and it's just a super nice guy and fun to work with, and I think knocked it out of the park. So get ready for more music, because now that's what all I really want to be is Weird Al. So I think we're gonna see things slowly moving in a Weird Al direction of just.
You, me, and Danielle all have that in common, is that we all really enjoy writing parody song lyrics and like don't get enough opportunity to do it as of now. So we're looking for any excuse.
Oh, did you see the set photos of Daniel Radcliffe as
I did,
as Weird Al? I think it looks good. I think
people were sour on it. It's like, well, obviously it's not going to be a one-to-one. Like, you're going to have to use a little bit of your imagination, but no, I thought it's exactly what I want Daniel Radcliffe as Weird Al to look like.
Yeah, I can see it. So check out Blue. He's got a legit like pop album on Spotify.
Oh wow!
I know his info is in the Honest trailer, but maybe we can put it in his commentary as well. So get to know Blue, because you'll be hearing more of his stuff in the future, I think.
Blue, my boy.
Yeah, or do it now, because you never know when these things will get flagged and taken down, because there's nothing more litigious than a music robot. Then we can bring back Matt Citrone from law school to be our music.
That's right. He'll defend us. Yeah.
Get an Avengers together. All right, let's watch the trailer.
From the studio that colonized your childhood comes the latest culture to get strip mined by Disney for anything they can turn into movies, merch, or theme parks. But these days they've been doing it respectfully with great characters and catchy songs, so truce? Encanto.
Now pause. Something Disney did that we did not do, and apologies, but that's reach out or do any research about Colombia or Colombian folklore or anything like that.
We got to write one of these a week, folks. They have years to work on these. In fairness to us, we don't have time for fact-finding missions to Bogota.
Well, I wonder how much of this is pulled from Colombian folklore and how much of it is just like set dressing. I'm genuinely curious if you know in the comments, like, what is part of that cultural heritage and mythology, and what's just like they came up with for a Disney movie.
My understanding of it was that and I again, not personally, I've read about this, and I don't know this, innately, but what I read when the movie came out, and what I was sort of, it's the story itself was sort of an original story that they kind of worked out. It's not specifically one Colombian myth or legend or whatever, but there are a lot of little references culturally, in terms of folklore, everything sprinkled throughout. So like a lot of the food and the specific music and dance references and the flower arrangements and all of that stuff, it's really steeped in specifics from Colombian culture.
I mean, like,
but not the story specifically.
Okay. I mean, the general vibe was like, 100 Years of Solitude. Gabriel Garcia Marquez, he's a Colombian guy, I think. And it was like the kind of magical realism, multi-generational family, but it's definitely not a straight adaptation of
I don't think there is like a Colombian, like the story of the magic candle, and it's rooted in that specifically. But yes, exactly what you're saying. Like there are tons of sort of magical realist South American kind of stories that this is drawing on.
Well, seemed fun. Seemed like a fun place. Anyways, keep playing.
Turn to Colombia, back in the 19-something or others, and stay in the magical family's magic casita, a house that's always listening.
The house isn't gonna decorate itself. Sorry.
With a cousin who can hear a pin drop.
No one has to know. I know.
A cousin who controls an army of spies.
The rats told me everything.
And a creepy uncle watching through the walls.
How long have you been back here?
Truly the worst place on earth to be a teenage girl. And me, teenage girl Mirabelle, the family's only muggle.
It is extra sad when you think about when you get your powers in this family, you don't just get the superpower, you get like a bat cave, like a themed
Right, your room.
Yeah, you get like a themed awesome room. Now the house can move and redecorate, and it's like a TARDIS, it can do whatever it wants.
Yeah. It's bigger on the inside.
But she still has the most like bare bones, like there's some crayon on the walls, I think, like a few doilies.
She has to live in the nursery. Like she never gets to move out of where the babies stay.
Yeah, that's messed up, right?
That's super messed up. Well, here's what I feel like all of that would be okay. It's kind of the kids' stories often start with the kid in a really miserable, like Harry Potter, he's like eating fish heads and living under the stairs so that he can appreciate what comes next. But we don't end this confirming that Mirabel gets to move out of the nursery. Like she, as far as we know, still does not.
She gets a door, but she gets the front door. So right, I think she just has like prima nocta. Like she could just sleep in anybody's room, or maybe she has to sleep in the living room.
She's crashing, in the foyer. Like that's still not. I feel like it's really weirdly missing a beat at the end where we finally see Mirabel.
You see her in a big 4-poster bed and grandma has to sleep on the floor.
Right. And I feel like, I think that's the issue, is that what they're sort of trying to set up is she's going to be the new abuela. Like she's going to be the matriarch one day. Mm-hmm. She's now the source of the magic, or the one who has the closest connection to the magic. And I like all that. I think all that works. But she needs a bedroom. Like this is just not fair.
Get a room. Yeah, come on, Mirabel.
And it's all glasses themed or something. Like, come on, give her something. This is cruel.
Yeah. Okay, keep going.
Aside from the standard Disney power that lets you freeze time, she'll battle high expectations, inadequacy, and literal burnout, as she struggles to understand why she wasn't granted a special gift. Though if you ask me, her gift is living rent-free in a house that cleans itself, while all her siblings get a lifetime sentence of community service when they turn 5.
Will you serve this community?
Mira, you have it so easy.
Let it go! That's what I'm always saying, bro.
Smuggle a pen and pad into the theater, because there's so many characters in this one, even the characters can't keep track of the characters.
Wait, who's a sister and who's a cousin? There's so many people. How do you keep them all straight?
Okay.
As a magic candle gives 3 whole generations a superpower, until it ran out of good ideas and started handing out curses. There's Luisa, who's super strong. Great! Mom can heal the sick with food. Awesome! Peppa's mood changes the weather. That's more like a punishment though, right?
You're lucky it's not a hurricane!
Antonio can talk to animals, which is cool, until you hear your friends eat your other friends.
Don't eat those.
This guy can shapeshift. What's that good for? Crime?
Yeah, pause. I mean, I kept thinking of like what happens at the town, power reveal party when it's revealed that, this guy is basically the monster from The Thing.
Like, yeah, it's right.
Great.
Yeah, like he could like impersonate my husband and like trick me.
This one can control the weather. Oh, perfect. Always sunny and 70. No.
When she gets mad, it's gonna be blizzards. Yeah, it seems the shape-shifting one is just like, well, this is sinister. Like what's even it useful for? Like you could feel them almost struggling, like, well,
they came up with one, which
could be a tall guy.
You need a tall guy. Yeah. Is he like one of the Wonder Twins that can turn into like a very large bucket of water?
No, it's just, it looks like it's just people. It doesn't look like he can become an object.
They have this one moment where like he turns into a mom and holds a baby while the real mom takes a nap. Like,
right.
That's very specific and very unsettling still.
Kind of creepy. Yeah. Like that baby doesn't know any better. It thinks that's its mom. Like that's sinister. Like I said, it would be like invisibility, where at first you'd be like, oh, nice. And then you'd be like, wait a minute.
Yeah. I mean, if it's all in the context of like, this is to serve the town, then you really wonder where this candle is pulling these things from. That one more seems like keeping the Madrigal family's power in place so that they have so that they can know what's going on.
A guy who can create electricity and now your homes have power. That'd be a good one.
But they could kill the mayor of the town and then impersonate him.
Yeah, we didn't come up with no unlimited food. She still has to cook the food that heals people. Well, we can transform you into any person you want to impersonate.
can people eat flowers? There are edible flowers, so maybe
I guess
in
that
a bad
one's
year.
also that's just like pointless. Like she can make flowers.
It's
with
pretty.
her mind. Like,
I think you're a little too grumpy on that. Like flowers are nice to have in a
they're
town.
nice, but it's not. You're not helping any. Like you're not doing service for the community with them.
Oh, if someone gave you flowers, you wouldn't say, "Oh, thank
Like,
you."
look, I filled your.
You say, "I
sleeve
can't
with
eat
flowers."
these." What are you,
Like,
Shrek?
yeah,
Right.
that's what this town needs is like one really crabby Scottish guy.
One ogre.
He's like, flowers.
Oh,
Why am I in Colombia?
okay, keep going. Someone write that sketch. Not me. Keep playing.
So you can have seconds.
Worth a shot. Dolores has super hearing in a house with 2 married couples. Definite curse. Bruno can see the future, but mostly just the bad stuff. Big time curse. And Isabella grows flowers? Come on, Candle, get your head out of your wax. If you can't think of anything useful, just magic up some birth control. Gasp as their once perfect home starts to become a crack house.
There is that thing where it's like it's kind of like the dad in or Prince Charming's dad in Cinderella, where she like lets it drop like she's gonna have 5 children. Yes, but
Yeah.
she is kind of thinking of her own family as like breeding stock. But
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
yeah.
There's definitely that. I would say too, there's like a conventional Disney movie buried inside this one where like they're marrying the daughter off to a guy she doesn't really love because it's good for the family. And like that used to just be the core conflict
the whole
of
movie.
the Disney movie. And this one, it's like, but she probably won't end up with that guy. We'll figure something else out. Like the house is the issue here. What about the magic candle?
Yeah, in the
yeah.
span of like one very sped up, Hamilton style rap break in the final song, we can tie up that it's the sister and she's gonna.
It's that.
That's fine.
The guy doing the voice of the boyfriend is Maluma, that Colombian pop star, who's also J-Lo's unfaithful husband in the beginning of "Marry Me" on Peacock.
Oh wow,
he's really having
How
a
about
big
that
moment.
universe?
He's having
Yeah.
a moment. Yeah.
All right, keep playing.
Now it's up to Mirabel to discover why and defeat the evil villain at the center of it all. Not Bruno, he's just lazy.
The mountains around the Encanto are pretty tall, and like I said, free food and everything.
No, the real antagonist in this movie is getting gaslit by your grandma.
The magic is strong. Everything is fine. There is nothing wrong with La Casa Madrigal. The magic is strong. And so are the drinks.
Not exactly Jafar level evil, but there's something off about this abuela, if that is your real name. Oh, it is your real name. Just grandma in Spanish. Well, that must have been hard to grow up with.
Yeah,
So
pause.
enjoy a story.
I mean,
about-
I don't think this needed a demon, like some sort of like evil animated monster to like some lava thing to pop out and them all to unite Captain Planet. So, although now that I'm saying it, that would be a cool scene if they had to do like full X-Men.
Yeah, I liked it. I thought that was a nice aspect of it. They're literally their own worst enemy. Their crippling self-doubt is the villain. And I like that. And I thought they did find clever ways to make it still feel like an adventure. Like she has to go into Bruno's tower. There are missions to accomplish, even though there's not like a calculating Disney villain behind the scenes plotting their downfall.
I just think if Mirabel was like I guess it's Mystique in the new X-Men movies. Like if it ended with her like directing them to kind of form like Voltron, like Luisa, attack. Okay, and now,
right.
and now Peppa, hit him with the lightning.
That'll be the sequel. You got to save something for
save it for the sequel.
Or that'll be the ride when you go through the casita and the ride. They'll have to all team up and fight. The evil house down the block. There's an evil family with a dark haunted house down the block, and then they're going to be rivals.
All right, keep going.
So enjoy a story about complex emotions and long simmering resentments that all get tied up neatly in a few minutes tops.
Maybe I overdo
I mean,
but if
we're
you're
reaching,
too
but
stubborn
it's a kid's movie. You can do that.
And I hear you. Yes.
But who cares when the colors are this bright, the dancing is this fluid, and the music is this catchy? Because Lin-Manuel is keeping the hot streak alive with one heart-rending Oscar-nominated song and 3 other jams that you'll be singing for months, like the Magic Powers That Gloss Over Serious Issues song.
My tia Peppa, she's got a mood disorder. She's either happy or she'll drown you in the
So pause. We've changed the lyrics, obviously, but he's also changed the tempo and the key and a few other things, and we're hoping that's enough to not get flagged or demonetized or whatever.
It's obvious what we're parodying, but it doesn't sound exactly the same.
That is the fine line we have yet to discover, because they don't take the trailer down per se, but we can get copyright. We have gotten copyright strikes, and like it's clearly covered under parody law. Like if we went to court, we would win, but we're not going to go to court over
we're not
dumb
going to go
internet.
to court.
So and YouTube, you are totally guilty until proven innocent when it comes to like rights issues on
I want
YouTube.
to see that, those like Dark Water, all those movies that like the lawyer who takes the impossible case against the mega corporation, like a civil action. Where's the one about the lawyer who represents like the small YouTube channel against the enormous media company?
I want that to be the next season of Perry Mason.
I just really want like Mark Ruffalo to like play a guy who's like,
they're kids songs.
Yeah,
kids.
This is clearly fair use.
Ryan says Law and Order New Media.
Yeah, where's that? Yeah, where's Jack
Dum-dum
to help defend us?
All right, keep playing.
Bruno.
No.
They say he's got depression and maybe OCD. Whoa, that's my mom, Julieta. Here's her deal. Whoa, she uses food to stuff up how you feel. Whoa, her love gets sublimated into meals. If she's repressed, imagine how I feel. Mom, what this family needs is therapy.
Pause. Something I'm surprised I don't get, because I've seen this movie like 7 times. The dad keeps getting stung by bees. Why is his face always puffed up?
He's allergic.
Is he just like Winnie the Pooh? He like can't keep his head out of the honey, out of a hornet's nest? Like,
I think it's that he doesn't have to be careful because his wife can just heal him.
Oh, okay. So that's why he's just blundering into the stuff he's allergic to.
Exactly. He's not careful because you could always just like eat up, whatever those ande, whatever snacks she's making for him. And so when when they lose their powers or whatever, like he's thrown off. I think that's the idea.
Wow. I mean, is that like an eternal life situation for the entire town? Is it actually 2050 when they leave the Encanto and they've just been kept alive by magic food?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know how the healing factor of the food works. Like if it's are you being made younger, or it's just healing if you have a problem,
right. Encanto 2.
Yeah, all of this will be explored in Encanto 2, the search for more powers.
More money. Yeah. All right, keep going.
Search for more cantos.
More cantos.
I guess I'm lucky that all I have is anxiety, cause this family needs all the therapy. Oh crap.
The Lin-Manuel is trying to tell us something song.
Pressure up to Hamilton, put him right on top.
Nice graphic for it, Kevin.
Yeah, really.
Was a total flop. Hoping that Encanto gives him any good win. So we'll all forget his role in Mary Poppins. Overexposed, but he can't take a break. Money's great.
Well, okay, let's pause. Let's discuss Lin, where we're at in the Lin-Manuel Miranda sons. I feel like the Miranda sons has passed. He was overrated post Hamilton, and now he's underrated post, I think, Encanto and Tick Tick Boom.
He had 4 musicals last year, right? Because there was also that one. What was it called? The Vivo.
Yeah, Vivo, the series or something.
It was a Netflix movie. Yeah, and then there was one more too. I'm gonna look it up. But he is like nonstop, just killing it constantly. In the Heights,
we gotten too much.
It was In the Heights. Those are the 4.
You've reached peak Lin when there was like a documentary about the improv group he was in college.
Yeah.
Like, I don't need to know any of this, but I do think this is I think some of Disney's best music. It's up there in the best music of the last 10 years for me. And then I think Tick Tick Boom was fantastic. And I think he kept himself out of it. No cameo. I don't remember seeing him.
No, it's
there.
like every single other Broadway person has.
Which is fascinating.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at in my Lin-Manuel journey.
I just think it's impossible. Like after you do something that is like Hamilton size. Like
Yeah.
so few things ever get to be Hamilton size. That once you've done something like that, like that's it. You'll like it doesn't matter. It's not even a testament to the quality of anything else he's ever done. Like nothing you ever do is going to have that because it can't. You already broke through and had your Hamilton moment. So it's always going to be he's going to live in that shadow forever, no matter how good the follow up work is.
Think about how many other presidents could rap. just imagine.
Just like
Van Buren.
I mean, who's to say? Yeah, the Millard Fillmore rap musical right around the corner. But it's like, I mean, even like Spielberg, like to this day, when Spielberg does like a movie that you don't associate with like family sci-fi, people are like, "Ooh, from Spielberg," and it's like, the guy's made like every genre in the world. We just still think of E.T. because that's
we're still making E.T. And just different kids on different bikes. We call it Ghostbusters
really. It's just
now.
like it's a digression.
It's a whole different video. All right, keep playing.
Song that shall not be named.
Please don't start singing, Bruno. God, no, no. We can't stop singing, Bruno. Help! It was my wedding
Isn't this song
day.
that
Bruno started playing, and I'm reading my vows to the sky.
Stuck in our heads till we
The song
die.
it begins in my head, not again. It's become the soundtrack of my life.
Cursed by this song.
Burrows deep inside your brain.
Musical tape.
This one's definitely
Will you
autobiographical.
go so
Pretty good.
insane?
Oh yeah. No, there it is.
And we're singing it again.
Like Groundhog's Day, there's no escape.
Please don't stop singing.
The thing about the song is
Bruno,
pause.
please
It just tells you like all you need is a hook because and even Blue said as much. He's like, the song isn't very good as in like complex or interesting musically. It's really like songs are like A B C D, like different sections and stuff like that. It's just like slight variations on A over and over and over again. And man, it just gets there. And Bruno no is really an earworm. There was a story about how I think his name was Oscar in early drafts of the script, but Lin-Manuel asked to change it for that chorus, like that if he could have a no at the end of his name to make that song really work. And they were like, yep.
Okay.
And history
give
was
the man what he wants.
He
He wrote wait for it. Let him do it. It's interesting because it's not usually the kind of song from the musical that takes up. It's not the like character singing about what they wish song, or it's not the big love ballad. It's like the work song. Like here's the story in a nutshell.
The villain song, which is never the biggest one from the soundtrack.
Right. And so it's interesting that it's because purely on the strength of the catchiness of that.
And clearly they didn't expect that because that's not the one they nominated for the Oscar.
Well, there's a fascinating bunch of conversation about this because the thing I think is most interesting is in the 90s, Disney used to just submit a bunch of different songs and they would compete against each other. Like when in the year, Can You Feel the Love Tonight was nominated, Circle of Life was nominated, like they would do multiples. And now they're afraid of cannibalizing themselves. So they just pick one. And the prevailing wisdom is you got to pick a song that like in a quick clip, people are going to get, here's how it relates to like the themes of the movie. And like, here's why this is a good song, not just as a song, but like from this movie. So I
think that's overestimating the amount of thought that Academy voters give these things, because I think they'll be like, "Oh, I've heard of Bruno." So I've heard that. Check.
Well, they had to do this before they submitted before they knew Bruno was going to be this huge hit. But I guess Bruno, the idea was, it's so tied up in the story of the movie, whereas Dos Oruguitas is just like, well, it's a nice song about the themes of the movie. It's in Spanish, and so it feels more like on point for Encanto.
Yeah, well, we will see if they win. I feel like this will be like when they give them like the actor the award for the movie that didn't deserve it, but they like their whole career's work. That'll be why this one wins. Not that Dos Oruguitas is a bad song, but it's
I feel like this will be the one people want Encanto to win because they want
the whole soundtrack to win.
Right. It is up against like Billie Eilish and Beyonce, and like there's a lot of competition this season. But
interesting.
We'll see. Yeah.
We'll see. Tune into the Oscars. Must see TV. Can't miss it. We'll be covering it.
It'll be on Twitter within 2 minutes.
We'll be covering it minimally if I have anything to say. We're covering it the minimum viable amount.
We're not
of being
gonna.
a movie channel.
I'll get together like we used to.
I mean, it's fun to do like a roast of it, but I don't know. We'll see. Tell us in the comments how much
Coming soon.
Oscars content
We'll
you
figure it
want.
out.
Yeah. All right, keep playing.
I haven't seen Drive My Car yet.
Oh yeah, good point.
Starring No Dora the Explorer, Luigi's Mansion, Swole Team
'Cause he was
6,
Luigi.
Today's Luigi.
Instagramma, The Wrong Kid Doored, The Changeling, No Fart Goes Unheard, Where Video Game Turkey Legs Come From, Gail Weathers, Jose Exotic, Another Easy Paycheck for Alan Tudyk, and it
Julie,
took
the
Disney
go-to.
this long to realize capybaras are adorable? Hello?
Cute animals,
Disney's
look 'em up.
haunted by your tragic past mansion. What does Disney have against Bruno's?
Silenzio Bruno!
Silenzio Bruno! Bruno!
All right,
That was a great catch. I did not remember there was another Disney Bruno.
Yeah, I think Kevin caught that with the dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remembered I brought up Silencio Bruno, but not Bruno.
And that
the
was
cat.
also that was Cinderella, right? Where that dog was
Yes.
Bruno. And
That looks like
another movie with a swarm of very helpful rats. Disney pro rat and mouse, I guess. Pro rodent company.
Definitely in the kitchen.
Ratatouille. Yeah, exactly.
Delicious.
Love rats,
Making
hate
you
Brunos.
delicious food, Yeah.
Give me a 1, 2, 3 of Encanto, Luca, Soul. I think those are the last three.
Encanto 1, Soul 2, Luca 3. That's my list. And actually, I would say Moana was, I think, the first time I read about this where like Disney and Pixar artists started like working together more. Like Disney screened an early version of it for Pixar, and it was Pixar artists who gave them like, here, like do more. The water coming to life stuff is so good. Do more of that. And it was also a Pixar person's idea to do all of the Rock's tattoos in 2D.
Oh,
and so after that, they've started like mixing it up and like collaborating earlier in the process. And I feel like you can really tell in the Disney movies that like Pixar people are giving them ideas, and like it does feel like Disney has kind of integrated more of the Pixar style in the more recent stuff.
Well, they're doing great work on the kids side of things. There's nothing to have a serious meeting about. Star Wars, on the other hand, well, there's like a 17 alarm fire at all times. That's really what I want to talk about this week. But
we gotta wait.
We'll have to wait.
Wait a little
We'll
bit.
have to wait a little bit.
This needs more colorful Vespas, I think. Obviously, why doesn't every Madrigal have a colored Vespa to match their roof?
Oh, it's the
What were you
mods.
thinking?
The mods are coming. I'll drive in on Vespas.
Yeah.
What this needs is a Rancor to tear down the house, to protect the house. Let's talk about deleted scenes. I think we have a few. Let's check it out.
Starring Bagona 99, Adorabelle, Dudley Do-Right,
Didn't get it.
The Property Mothers, The Perks of Being a Wall Brother, The Pest, The Incredible Hulk, Donkey Kong, Judy Bloom, Blossom, Pedals to the Metal, Influenza, Boozer, Kid Chameleon, Loki Loki.
Ah, meatloaf! Damn it, man, I'm a traditional healer, not a doctor.
Cloudy with a Chance of Downfalls, Toddler Doolittle, The Listen Lady, We Here For You. What's her room like? An ear canal? 23 and Mirabelle. Miss Madrigal's Home for Peculiar Children. This is easily Disney's best story about being the only one in the group without superpowers since Hawkeye ended a few weeks ago. Just pick up a bow, Mirabelle. Learn to flip quarters. You'll be fine.
Yeah, a little weird bit of synchronicity there that these two things came out so close to each other.
All the stories about the people without powers for TV.
Save it for 2022.
Yeah, it's cheaper this way.
There's also a line that got cut that was like how cool it was to see like, oh, she's like a short Latina with curly hair and glasses. Is like, that's like our Disney heroine that we get. And everyone's like, this one's a dud. She's a dud. Like, what's special about her? Like, clearly something's off. Like, she's not doing it. We got to find out what makes this person good and unique.
Explain yourself. Why do you
justify why you're in this? Why we're
why are you
you.
even here?
Yeah. So there you go. Let's move on to some great questions that you guys have been submitting as we've been talking.
This was hard. I will just say this was a really hard one, I think, to write because I like the movie so much, and I don't.
Yeah,
feel
I
like
would say
everything felt like a nitpick to me in this.
Yeah, that's kind of the deal with Disney, and I guess especially Pixar stuff, and now I guess Disney Pixar is they're good, number one, and number two, they're for children. So it's not like you struck the same rib twice, but they two distinct times.
Yeah, but this one even more so. We've done a few other like Pixar-y kind of stuff recently, and this one was really like full of teeth. I was just like, oh, but it's delightful.
Yeah,
what do you
tricky.
want from me?
I think I have a small child trying to get into this room. You can come in if you want, but I am recording. It's fine. Whatever. If it happens,
Bruno?
it happens. Yeah, she wants to talk about Bruno. She heard us talk about Bruno.
Yeah, she's like, I've got some stuff to add.
Let's take some questions. Evan J. Pretzer asks, silly/bragging question for you. I'm in Minneapolis for an interview where I will likely become a U.S. permanent resident after moving from Canada. Well, that seems like a downgrade, but congratulations.
I guess. Welcome to America.
Welcome to America. What's the best immigrant movie?
Oh, wow.
I mean, Fievel, the Fievel.
Yes, an American
series,
Tale.
Right? American Tale.
A great immigration story. This is
I love this is where I became a Saoirse head. Brooklyn. It was Saoirse Ronan.
Sure.
I love that. Very, very sweet story.
I would pick another fairly recent one that I really enjoyed. Seth Rogen's An American Pickle. It's on HBO
that was
Max.
Unexpectedly nice. I
very...
wanted it to be like a dumber comedy, but it ended up being sweet, and that's fine too.
Yeah, right, exactly. And also Minari a few years ago.
Minari.
Oscar nominee Minari, another great recent immigration story.
So there you go. Welcome to America. You're in Minneapolis. I think they have Culver's there. That's probably the best fast food you can.
They are, yeah. It's very good. They put butter on their burger buns. It's really
delicious. All right. Anika Barr asks, which region/country/culture should get the Disney treatment next? What would Disney's version of Germany look like? I don't know enough about Germany. Like disco dancing.
I feel like I don't know. Have we never? I mean, a lot of those classic Disney like Grimm brothers sort of tales, like
exactly.
Those are all
Everything
kind of rooted in Germanic, right? Yeah, like
everything's like vaguely Bavarian. So you already got your
you're done. Like, more than enough for you.
Yeah,
bastard. I don't know. I mean, I feel like there's probably a lot of African cultures that we've never even touched in an American family film that would be a fascinating place to start, right? Like there's not like Lion King is probably the closest we've gotten, and it's their lions.
Yes, yeah.
So
maybe like Iceland, like the the fairies and the waterfall. That would look pretty, right?
I'm sure there's a lot of Icelandic folklore and fairy tale stuff, and I mean, I guess you get like Disney, DreamWorks. How to Train Your Dragon is like Scandinavian, Nordic folklore, but sure.
I mean, Mexico already got Coco, which
Mexico got Coco pretty recently.
Just pausing on a moment, like this is just an interesting thing about pop culture today. Because back in my day, it was like, oh, Disney is turning your culture into a cartoon. Like this is offensive and bad. Just on the surface, like you don't want a Disney to do this. And now it's like, why hasn't Disney done my heritage yet?
They did. We mentioned it earlier, though. It's the fact that they are now collaborating with people from those cultures and really like doing Pocahontas the homework. Exactly. It's not like Mulan or Pocahontas where they're like, pick one, throw a dart at a globe, and then they're like, let's make up some nonsense about this country now. Like Aladdin is like semi-offensive because there weren't really a lot of people with a background in Arabic folklore. And
you mean Agrabah is not historically accurate?
Right, exactly. Like, I don't even want to get into some of the stuff they've had to remove from that movie over the years, but that's the problem, is that you'd hope today it would be more respectful and rooted in real stuff from that culture rather than art stereotypes of that culture.
Let's see, moving on. Sergio Hernandez and Adam Halbert both had questions about how annoyed or happy I am that my kid is definitely into this movie as opposed to something like Frozen or whatever. And I'm down. I think that of all the things you could grow up with, like Mirabelle is a good modern Disney heroine where it's like her and Moana, I think would both be and like Elsa, as far as role models, I guess. No, Elsa's kind of weird. No, I like this one. I'm glad she's a Mirabelle over a Frozen. And it's amazing, like, and you've said this before, Lon, but I almost didn't believe you, where it's like you show a kid old school animation and they just, they'll watch it for a little bit. But if you show them like the 3D,
right.
like Pixar or even live action Lion King stuff, it's like, they're absolutely wrapped with attention. So I try yelling at her that she has poor taste, but it doesn't seem to stick. It's amazing how you don't get to pick what they like. Yeah,
the classics. Yeah.
All right, Oscar Breach asks, what composer has written the best foray of songs for multiple Disney films? Lin-Manuel Miranda, Robert Lopez, Alan Menken, Sherman Brothers, Randy Newman.
Wow, that's tough. I mean,
my heart says Randy Newman, but my head says it's got to be Menken.
I said this before, because I came of age in the Disney Renaissance era. To me, those are the classics. Yeah. So yeah, it's going to be Ashman, Menken, and the Lion King, the Little Mermaid. I guess the Lion King was after, but the Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin, Little Mermaid pocket to me is like the peak of all of it. Yeah. And there's that incredible Howard Ashman documentary on Disney Plus that I highly recommend. And there's a part where he and Menken go in to Jeffrey Katzenberg's office and basically are like, we want to do Aladdin. And they play like 3 whole songs. They're like, they wrote Prince Ali already. And they're like, wow. Here it is. And he's like, no, I don't like it. Go make Beauty and the Beast instead. It's like, how do you, what? Like the idea that those guys would come into your office and play Prince Ali, be like, let us make this movie. And you'd be like, nah.
Prince Ali is not the best song on the Aladdin soundtrack by far.
No, but they had like 3 written. It was like Whole New World, Prince Ali, and like You Ain't Never Had a Friend Like Me or something.
But if they're like, listen to this. I'm like, all right, I gotta go.
I mean, it's like a funny Robin Williams type genie singing that. You'd buy that movie immediately. But they don't know. I don't know what the hell you're talking about. But anyway,
that's fine. But that's why I'm not greenlighting anything.
I mean, I think you could definitely make it like the Sherman Brothers. It's really hard to say it's not them because so many of the classics were them, and like those songs you still hear piped into Disneyland every time you go. So I don't know. It's personal preference.
Totally. Speaking of music, a lot of people are very happy we're doing music again and are asking if we will do full versions of the song. I want to do full versions. There's no reason why we can't. We just have I guess we could just put them as YouTube videos on Screen Junkies. I was going to say we have no outlet for it. Like, I guess we could just post them on
so we're not a YouTube channel.
Spotify.
More views, baby.
Well, I guess if we make the music fit, they're
going right to Peacock, folks. Yeah. Look for them on Peacock.
Yeah. Well, like I said, this has inspired us to maybe do some more music stuff.
We wrote a lot. We wrote a lot of lyrics that did not even get turned into songs.
I mean, we could go back to the old, to some of the older trailers where we do have, more than we put in there. So
yeah.
And trust us, as you can see from the deleted scenes, there's gold in them hills. It's all gold. Everything we cut is brilliant. That said, next week, something that I wish we had time to make a theme song for.
Well, wait, have you gotten to there? Eventually, I saw Joe's comment that there are no lyrics to the theme.
There
song.
Sort of are.
They do introduce them eventually.
Yeah.
They're very straightforward lyrics, but they are lyrics.
Yeah. So everybody, next week, get ready to take a bath and crack open a whole new adventure on in the farthest, distant, most central, most important parts of the galaxy. Next week on Australian Commentaries. Thanks for watching. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.